pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the time is now 7 p.m. We're going to open public hearing for a sign variance at Ameriprise Financial, 101 Southeast Street. Does anybody in the audience have any comments, complaints, concerns? I will take a motion to close this public meeting. Meeting closed. The time being 7:01, I will open this public hearing for sign variance for GM Development Companies, LLC for 1501 North Broadway. This time, does anybody have any comments, complaints, or concerns about this sign variance? Yes, please come up to the podium and state your name for the record.
Yeah, my name's Richard J. Van Dyke. I live at 1504 North Broadway. I'm just kind of wondering what the sign's going to be like, because if it's a great big bright sign, it's going to be lighting up my house real bad. So that's all. I'd like to know what the sign's going to look like, or is it going to be bright, or what's it going to be like? Because I haven't seen kind of pictures of what it's going to be.
Hang on.
I figure somebody had a picture of what you're
Sarah may have it.
Okay.
Sorry, sir, did we just speak up for you there?
Yes, we'll make sure. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the sign that's at the corner of Lincoln and Main? It's
Yeah.
not gonna be that big.
Okay.
And
Should have turned it off.
so this is what it would look like. So
Okay,
it's gonna be
it's not
facing.
gonna be much more than what the one by the church is. Cause the church right beside my house.
Theirs
yeah.
lights up, doesn't it? Does theirs
Yeah,
light up?
it lights up, yeah.
Yeah, this will be, electronic message sign.
Yeah,
But the way it looks like it's facing is more, north and south
well,
than
yeah,
across.
but I live like right over here.
Right, but you're across the street, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that won't really, it won't be bright in my house.
No,
That's what I was concerned
no,
about. 'Cause
sure.
The church lights up my front room, but I don't want my bedroom
Yeah,
lit up too.
no,
Okay.
it should not.
Okay.
Okay.
I have no problem with it then.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Does anybody else have anything? I will take a motion to close this public hearing. This public hearing is now closed. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, 2024, and the time being 7:03 p.m. The meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals is called to order. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that the participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. Amber, would you please do a roll call?
Alan.
Here.
Philip.
Here.
Ken.
Present.
Dick. Rick.
Here. In our packet, both emailed and what we have in front of us, we have meeting minutes from, we had a public meeting, public hearing on February 6th, and along with our Board of Zoning Appeals meeting minutes. Does anybody see any corrections or additions that need to be made to that? I will take a motion to accept these meeting minutes as presented.
So moved.
We also have meeting minutes from the special BZA Planning Commission training that we had on February 12th. Does anybody see any additions or corrections that need to be made with that? I'll take a motion to accept them as presented.
So just to keep everything clear, since you did a motion on the previous one, you need to call a vote. So you did a motion and a second
On the first one? Okay.
You need to call a vote.
So,
Just an all in favor is a significant,
all in, of the first set of meetings.
on the first set of meetings.
All in favor of accepting the first set of meetings for the public hearing and our BZA meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. Now,
Now you can do the motion
for the BZA or for the special meeting,
Yep.
all in favor of, did I take, I thought I had a motion.
No,
Oh, I will take
you
a
get ready to
motion.
call it when I said it. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off.
I will take a motion to accept the special meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, signify with aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Minutes are accepted as presented. Since we have no old business, going right into new business, we have Ameriprise Financial, 101 Southeast Street, seeking a variance for an electronic message sign to be put on their building.
Yes, good evening. This evening, Angie Messer couldn't be here, so we have Spencer Burkert and Jenna Green with Ameriprise Financial that are going to present, but they are requesting an electronic message sign to be placed on two sides of their building at the corner of 421 and Southeast Street. They are in the Central Business District and in the Historic District. In both of those districts, EVMS signs are not allowed. So I'm gonna let them come forward. You have all the information in your packet. And then I gave you the criteria sheet that was separate from your packet as well. So I will let them come up.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Sarah?
Sure.
Is that appropriate timing or, yeah, I know there used to be a historic preservation HBC.
Yeah, there's
for the
not
town.
anymore.
Right, but that, don't you and the Main Street person still have a,
Yes, so, any signage,
Like that?
no,
Oh,
no, make the decisions on anything in the Main Street and Historic District. Yes, anything with signage or paint colors or changes in facade,
so is there anything,
other than, it would not fit the downtown, and it's not allowed in either one of those districts, but,
okay. Well, and then I guess, so, and I know, going through the last meeting we had, the criteria,
mhm.
I guess I'm not sure how that applies in the historic district. I feel like is that a special, I don't even know exactly what I'm asking, but I
I
don't.
was gonna say, I guess I didn't understand what you were asking either.
Well, so is it, the four questions that we have here, is it injurious to the public health, safety, morals? Will the
Right.
adjoining properties be adversely affected? Does a strict application result in practical difficulties? I don't know that, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yes, you are correct, but because that's not allowed in either district, that's why they're seeking a variance. I just give my opinion, I'm not a voting member, so just keep that in mind. If it's something you would allow, then you're gonna allow a lot of other businesses downtown to seek the same variance. And, that's not something the city would like, but that is my opinion.
Right. I guess maybe it's more of a legal question then. So how does there being a historic district, does that make the application of these four questions more strict, or how should we consider that?
Well, from a legal standard, it doesn't necessarily apply to your application of those four questions. So those four questions are what are statutorily defined as to you, in order to grant a variance, you have to find consistent with those questions. So it would certainly go to what I would consider to be the weight of the request, because there is a Historic Preservation Commission is, a downtown district, it does have a different set of statutory and ordinance related points, but it would not prohibit you from, so the fact that it is simply in that district does not by and of itself prohibit you from granting a variance. If you, after inquiry and examination, determine that it does meet the necessity of a variance as set out statutorily, then you're entitled to do that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
Ultimately, I think it goes to the weight of the request,
okay.
not as to the legality of the request.
This situation is a little bit different because it falls in two prohibited districts.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying.
Right, no, that's
So-
right, well, I guess I should maybe clear, I think if this request were being made, I mean, even across the street, outside of the historic district, I think the barrier for the historic district is,
It is, right, they're on the edge of the historic district.
so if it was outside of the historic district, and I guess I wanna hear from the
Sure.
applicant. but-
And it also, so part of that sign would be facing the historic district. The other part along East Street would not be facing a historic district. But,
Right, but the building itself and the sign itself is in the historic district?
yes,
Right.
although the building is not historic
Right,
either.
right, yeah.
But it's still
absolutely.
in the district.
Yep.
One thing that I will say is, another thing in the UDO is that electronic message signs can not be within 600 feet of a residential district, but that is going to be changed. So to maybe just 100 feet, 150 max. So that'll come into play too with the next variance that'll come before you, so.
Is there a residential district within?
Yeah, right across on Main Street. Across from Sinclair Station, gas station.
Yeah, right there across from,
Yeah.
Right, yes, okay. Okay.
Any other questions of me? Okay, I will let them come up.
And I would say, I know Sarah introduced you a second ago, but if you could please just state your name again for the record.
Of course. Good evening. My name is Spencer Burkert. I'm a financial advisor and partner at Messer, Rust & Burkert Advisors. I'm here with Jenna Green. She is our business development specialist. I'd just like to give a little background. I was born and raised here in Decatur County. My wife and I made the decision to move back to this community in 2020 after college. We are both very excited and proud to be members of Greensburg and to be raising our newborn baby as of January here in Greensburg. I take great pride in being a third-generation small business owner here in town, with my grandpa and dad both owning businesses here in Decatur County. I am here on behalf of our team to request the approval of our high-resolution digital sign for our building. This sign is going to be a very big investment for our team, and it will play a vital role in promoting the services that we provide. Not only is this a great opportunity for our business, but it will also be a fantastic addition to our community. We provide comprehensive financial advice and investment management to more than 500 households and businesses and nonprofits here in southeastern Indiana. With our guidance, our clients ended up donating more than $700,000 to nonprofit organizations out of their investment accounts last year alone. Our business plays a pivotal role in the financial health of the people and businesses of Decatur County and the surrounding counties. The sign will be essential to advertising our services so we can continue promoting what we do and continue helping the people of Southeast Indiana. I would also like to add that this sign will be made right here in Decatur County, and we are excited to be able to promote community events and local nonprofits with the sign as well. Before I pass it off to Jenna to discuss more details about the sign, I want to thank you for your time and consideration. As someone who is also passionate about this community, I am confident that you will grant us approval to invest in our business as well as the community. So I'm going to pass it over to Jenna now. She's going to talk more details about the sign.
Okay, good evening. As Spencer mentioned, this sign is a huge investment that we are willing to make for us and our community. The sign is located, like mentioned previously, at the corner of our building facing the intersection of 421 Main Street and East Street. A study showed this intersection on average sees more than 7,500 cars per day, which is about 2.8 million a year. We understand the significant role that this sign will also play in our community, which is why we're willing to make this $60,000 investment. This sign will feature the industry's best and most updated technology. It will have the highest resolution available on the market today, with a full color spectrum and a built-in auto-adjusting light dimmer. This sign will allow us to efficiently communicate our services and promote upcoming events in the community. The size of the sign is actually smaller in width than the previous eliminated sign that was located on the building before us. We thank you for allowing us for this time, and we hope that you will consider this unique situation. We are happy to open it up to any questions you may have. And before that, I was going to show you a little preview of the sign, so you can kind of see what it looks like.
You're not talking about the sign that's located between the two windows.
No,
Mm-mm.
the one
No.
that's actually changing.
The one that is changing, yeah.
So as you can see, it
That's
doesn't.
what you're talking about, the one that's wrapped around the building, but not the one
That's
that's
correct.
currently between the two windows.
That is correct, yeah.
That's staying where it is.
Yep.
Board, may I ask a clarifying question? So you mentioned community outreach.
Yeah.
So is it your intention that nonprofit organizations that wish to advertise on your sign can approach your business and request that from you, that it be included as a more public message board
Yes.
type of opportunity?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. If they approach us, we will definitely, consider it. And we would be, that's something Angie and I are very dedicated to, is community involvement. We've been associated with a lot of nonprofits here in Decatur County, and, we'd love the opportunity to be able to promote it, especially at a busy intersection like we're located on.
I just wanted to clarify that point of the statement.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I don't think I have any questions. I mean, I don't know if this, again, I don't know if this is the appropriate space for this. I've been involved with the Main Street organization for several years. I'm on that board currently. And I've worked with the Historic Preservation, the HPC, before it existed, and have been in a lot of conversations about development downtown. I know your building is not a historic building. I understand the impact it could have. I know Sean and Green Sign Co., I know they'll make it look, terrific. And I guess my reservation is the precedent that it sets, allowing a digital sign in the historic district. And again, not so much your building, it's my concern would be other buildings more on the square and then buildings that are more of a historic nature. But I guess I don't know, I'm curious to hear what everybody else is thinking.
Being in a historic district, on page 72 of UDO, it does say EVMS or EVMS components are not permitted. And it even says it on 69, which is, I think is the central business district.
Yes. The B1 central business.
B1?
B1 is the central business.
Central, okay. I see it could do some good, but we have some old buildings downtown that I see could use this as their stepping stone to get in. You know what I mean? What? I just think, personally, I think it's, the precedent being set would not necessarily for them, but for other possible businesses to put signs on their buildings like that would be not bad, but it would become cluttered, and then why would you have a historic district with all the electronic stuff?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment. I do like your point that this is not a historic building. And also, I would like to say, not all digital signs are created equal. This isn't a sign that's gonna just be scrolling letters or, lighting up, and, this is a $60,000 sign that has, some very impressive technology in it. And, it's gonna be facing mostly away from the historical district. So, to that point, I think it would be a fantastic addition to not only our business, but as well as the community. So, this is gonna be a high-quality sign that is really gonna enhance the look of the area.
And I would say, I would note to you that there is precedential value, obviously, in consistency, but every variance is also made on an equal determination, because no other building is going to be situated exactly where their building is.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand what you're saying. I just wanted to make sure you understood that you were not, because you granted a variance here does not mean that you are legally obligated to grant a variance to someone else who is in a different situation. However, that's just me throwing out I wanted to make sure you were properly analyzing from a legal standpoint in terms of making your decision. So.
Now, if we grant this variance and the historic district says no, who's got precedence?
But there's
no more historic district, so it would now come, so now it's basically
Wait,
Sarah.
there's a national historic district.
HPC.
There is no commission, but it still has to come before myself and the Main Street director, or
I
the
thought
interim
that-
director.
I guess I thought that had already taken place.
So,
I'm sorry.
and, I'm not taking either side here, but with what Chris said, I understand that, but how are you going to, if somebody else, if Lynx comes and wants to put a big sign, a digital sign on the side of their building, and you tell them no, how are you going to justify telling them no after you told them yes? Just saying,
Can we clarify the procedure first, just for me? So, whatever I know it's not the HBC
It would not be
anymore.
approved in the historic district by myself and the Main Street director.
But what is the
But it has not yet gone before that body.
No.
and that
We have
and that
discussed it.
entity can veto anything? They can veto what we do, okay. And then the procedure for that is,
They would
this
fill out-
board does the
They would
hearing.
fill out an application for a certificate of appropriateness. Myself and the Main Street director or interim director at this point would sit down and discuss it. We have already discussed it somewhat, so it's just that paperwork hasn't been filled out yet. But we can still discuss it before that point.
Right, I believe that they would come to this body first to seek the variance, because if
Yes.
this body doesn't grant the variance, then there's no need for
They
an
still have to
analysis
get
done.
approved by
But
the,
anything that they do, because it is in the historic downtown district, would still have to be approved by the Main Street Director and Sarah as the building commissioner.
okay. And that decision is final, or is there an appeal to that decision? Like, how does that work?
I'd have to look to see on an appeal, I don't know if
I
there's
say
an appeal.
realistically, you would probably be looking at an appeal to the judicial circuit
Okay.
to determine whether or not the administrative functions were followed properly and all of the rules were followed in that context.
Okay. So, I guess the way I was thinking about it was whatever the HBC is would have already considered it and then would advise this body on it, but that's not, okay. Right, okay.
So, just a couple of thoughts, my 2 cents worth. I think the sign that I saw was attractive. The fact that you're going to open that up to other organizations in town, I think is commendable. Although down the road from you, a block down, we have a corner sign down on the corner there from the city that has that same function. So while I think that that's commendable on your part, if you were denied, it doesn't take away that ability for organizations to advertise because they can do it down on the corner. My concern is setting a precedent, and I know that every application stands on its own and we can vote it yea or nay. But I also believe that if we approve it, we give weight to those people coming after you, that we would approve theirs also. So, just my 2 cents worth.
Yeah, and I'd like to also add one more point here. With the services that we provide, financial advice, not every business downtown is, providing financial advice. If a bar owner comes and wants to advertise free beer on Tuesday, that's a little bit different than us over here, trying to help people plan for retirement. And, I think the 700,000 out of our accounts last year to nonprofits, that is a huge substantial number that greatly benefits the community. So, our business, it really does play a vital role in this community. And, I think that also has some weight to it as well, which is why I think the variance also needs to be considered.
Anybody have anything else?
Are you allowing any questions?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yep, go ahead.
My name is Jean Johannickman, and I know too that there is a national historic district, and I would question if there's any impact from that organization, because we are on the National Historic Register. The other thing I would point out is that with having the other sign, as Mr. Dornick said, and then having this one, and this being a highly volatile traffic area, whether it's going to be distracting from a safety issue. I just am asking that and want you to consider that.
Yeah, I know Sean Green is in the audience. I don't know if Sean would want to address the safety issue at all from digital signs at an intersection like
Sure.
that. I assume, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I assume you have,
Yeah, it's a great question, Sean Green. Yeah, there's been multiple studies, and it's a myth. The state highways use them. They use them around 465. They use them for directing traffic all the time. So there's a lot of proof that wouldn't affect anything. And then the uniqueness on this property is the location. If you look at the map, and it's not a historical, and I like the downtown. It's come a long ways, and I think it's been preserved well. And I think the city and the Main Street committees, and I was actually on Main Street myself, I think they've done a wonderful job. You've helped out. I think almost everybody here has helped out with it, even Gene, business owner down there. But I never understood why this building is in the historical, because it's a new building and it's facing out. I mean, it's got a commercial gas station across the street with a digital sign, so it's a unique one. It puts you guys in a tough spot, that's for sure.
Anybody have anything else?
Just last, if it was just B1, and again, I guess I don't wanna say that out loud maybe, but I'd have an easier time if it was just the B1 district. It's the B1 and the historic district, to me, makes it a difficult decision. And I understand that it's not a historic building, I understand it's right there on that corner, and you know, across the street on two sides, it's not a historic district. I don't know, I'd really don't think.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, is being the historic side of it, then basically what we say, they can still override, so.
Anyone else? I will take a motion to approve this variance.
So moved.
We'll take a second.
Second.
Amber, will you please do a roll call vote?
Philip,
I think I'm gonna say no.
Ken,
No.
Rick,
Yes.
Alan.
No. I am sorry, but your variance did not pass.
Thank you, guys.
Our second one is for GM Development Companies seeking a variance for electronic sign put up at the city of Greensburg Municipal Campus at 1501 North Broadway.
Good evening. I'm kind of here to make this presentation as the mayor's out of the country. 1501 North Broadway is our new city municipal campus. And as you can see in your packet, there's a picture of the electronic message sign along with other signage for this city of Greensburg logo and stuff. The reason for the variance is currently, as I said a few minutes ago in regards to the previous variance, is EVMS signs in our UDO say they need to be 600 feet away. That is very extreme, and we are in the process of updating that to 100 or 150 feet max. So, just saying, and where that sign is, where the picture of the sign is, the actual post and stuff are already in the spot. So anyhow, that was, I think it was Mr. Van Dyke that came up here. He's the only person that I've heard from. I mean, and as here, I didn't hear from him before until this evening. So other than that, there's been no concerns or anything. So I guess I'm here for.
What is the
Positive.
distance right
Let me see.
Roughly.
You mean from the sign to the house across the street?
I may be able to pull that together here real quick.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
it's about 100 feet from my house.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's right around 100 feet,
Yeah.
if that, so. Maybe just a hair more. But that is in the process of being updated, changed. That's why I mentioned that in the other
Do
one
you
as
mind
well.
if I ask a question, because I'm just curious?
I'm 15.
Do you know, is this sign gonna be tied into like the system that they're putting in place at Broadway and,
I just didn't want my front room
and
like it.
the system they're putting in Broadway that's gonna control the lights when they have people actively coming out? Do you know if this sign is gonna be tied in at all to notifying people
That they're cutting out?
that they're coming down?
No, those
No.
are two different systems.
Okay, I just didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
I was, you had me, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Just like,
Oh,
now I'm
sorry,
curious.
yeah, no,
What
so
were
I
you
was just
saying?
talking about, so there was some discussion about a potential project at
Right
council that they're going to integrate some of the stoplight controls at Broadway and the bypass to control traffic when fire trucks are coming out of that area. I just didn't know if
Kind of
this
a
was
warning.
tied in at all, so. That's more of a person that drives on Broadway.
Not a bad idea, though.
Did you find anything, Don?
It's about 150 feet.
Okay.
Yep.
No, I don't have any issue.
And then it will not block
The-
sight coming
The
out.
view triangle or anything, no, no,
Okay.
the triangle site, no. No, it's back far enough. Any other questions?
And we're just doing this variance because it's says 600 feet now and it's going to.
Right, but that's, like I said, that's being
That's in the
changed. That's
process.
why I brought it up for the last variance.
That's the only thing that needs,
Yes.
the variance for
Yes.
that? Okay.
Any questions? I will take a motion to approve this variance.
Did you want to ask me anything in the audience?
Oh, anybody else in the audience have any questions? Now I will take a motion.
1 second.
Amber, will you please do a roll call vote?
Philip,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Alan.
Yep.
Next month, we will be having a BZA meeting, so, and for those that are on plan, we'll be having a plan meeting. We will, both meetings next month.
Anybody have anything
Okay.
else? I will take a motion to dismiss us. So moved. We are done. Thank you.